Hello, all you positive heads out there. It is so good to be back with all you beautiful reflections of the one source consciousness that creates and animates all things. If you're new to this podcast, of course, we are super happy to have you here, and we just ask that you bring an open heart and open mind to your listening experience and to be prepared to explore vantage points that I'm convinced will help shift or solidify your current understanding of the ultimate nature of reality in a way that is extremely empowering. Speaking of exploring powerful perspectives, I'm super excited to announce that on January 18th, originally January 5th, but I needed to push it back a bit, I'm going to be freely gifting each of you my very first book, The Golden Key: Modern Alchemy to Unlock Infinite Abundance. In the book, which was initially shown to me in a dream and has been followed by a next level amount of synchronicity, by the way, I share the keys to manifesting abundance that I've personally discovered over 20 plus years of trial, error, and deep exploration of these perspectives, as well as one golden key that ultimately ties them all together. Also, I would like to invite you to participate in a unique abundance manifestation game with me and the other readers that is outlined in detail at the end of the book and at the book's website, goldenkey.gift, where readers will also share the inspiring results of their abundance manifestation experiments. So if you're wanting 2021 to be the year that you alchemize the circumstances in your life so that your abundance expands to an entirely new level, head over to goldenkey.gift to sign up to accept my golden gift to you right when it comes out.
All right, all you positive heads, welcome one and all. I thank you so much for joining Samantha and I today. We thought we would talk about a little something that's been coming up for both of us, which is creativity. Right, Sam?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So here's why. So it seems, and it's coming up in my world and a lot of the people I've been talking to, but what seems to be happening right now is this creative flow. And the things that we are passionate about and the things that our inner being really wants us to do, it's just like this beautiful flow that's happening right now. And these things are creating themselves. And so I have a creative project that I'm working on. It's just creating itself. It literally is naming itself, decorating itself. And the same thing is happening for my friends. And I just think it's a really interesting energy that's present. And it's beautiful. What are you experiencing, Sam?
Yeah, I'm definitely experiencing that. I'm wondering if in my life it's because I'm traveling less and moving around less and going out less, and it's allowing me more of that time and pushing me more to, be in one place and then have these creative energies come through me, because there's less external to be coming through. And yeah, I'm definitely experiencing creativity in terms of the way that I'm showing up in the world and the way that I'm representing myself, and the work that I do and who I'm working with is definitely going through a creative shift, as well as just the little things around decorating my office space, or the way I'm cooking is becoming much more creative, or even the way I'm making my morning matcha latte. I'm really adding in these different flares and tastes and flavors, and I'm noticing this desire to express art through the daily, the small things and the big things that I'm doing right now.
Yeah, I love this. I love this. And I think that's a good point that you just made about us having the time to slow down and be at home and not go anywhere. And that allows us that time to go within and really think about like what brings us happiness, like we've talked about so many times on this podcast. And being creative and doing those things that we love to do. And it's this energy. Yeah, it's like it's such a hard time that we're going through in the world right now, but this is one of the beautiful things that we're getting to see out of it. This ability to live in the present moment and just slow down. And honestly, that is a message that has been coming through in so many of my sessions lately. Just slow down. Just stay in the present moment. That's all we really need to do. And I think that through this time, we're really learning to do that.
Yeah, we absolutely are, because anytime we're trying to what I'm experiencing is anytime I'm trying to make plans or future pace or be in this, creative future space, life shifts and things close
Hmm.
and plans fail, and I'm being brought right back to where I am today in this moment. and my external world is calling me there, and my internal world, my body, is also asking me to be more present with it and to be embodied in it and to slow down, like you said, so I can feel how I feel and I'm open to what is being birthed through me as well.
Yeah. Well, because and that's how creativity works, right? Like it's that birthing through you. And that happens so easily when we are just quiet in the moment and are just able to flow with it.
Mm.
It just is, right? There is no doing involved. It's just the being. And that's another thing that keeps coming through. It's just the being. And being doesn't mean you don't do anything. It just means you don't need to do anything in order to just be. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some people think, "Well, I'm not doing anything. I'm just watching TV. I'm just playing a game. I'm just reading a book." But that is doing. That is still in the doing. Like, how
Yeah.
often are we taking the time to actually be in the being through meditation and stillness, time in nature where it's just presence? And when we can be in this presence and have our body slow down and have our mind slow down and have the thoughts, the racing thoughts slow down, this is where we can feel these urges and feel these callings and feel these different art forms that are asking us to be created. And that's where we get these little stimulus and these impulses and these ideas can really pop through and come through when we have those times of pure being.
Yeah. And I think that also this energy is ever present for us to really align with our higher calling, right? Like
Mm.
our higher selves, all of our guides and angels and they just all want us to do what is making us happy and to follow that calling. And so many people are being called right now to do what they came here to do, to follow their mission. And most people's mission here is to help people in some way, shape, or form in that individual way that you came here to do it. Right. And there's always creativity involved with that. And that's so fun. Right. Um, but this is something that's been coming up too for me. And I'm glad that this just came up. But I want to encourage everyone who is hearing a call of any sorts to please heed that call and there is no reason to fear. We're afraid when when we hear these calls. We're like, "Ooh, right?" And we get afraid, and there's different reasons for us to not do it. But right now, we are being asked to just heed the call. There's a reason why you're hearing it. So have no fear. There is nothing to fear, and go with that. Go with that call. Yeah, follow that inner
Mm.
passion.
Yeah, something I'm noticing in a lot of my client sessions is what's coming through is this desire to just be yourself. A lot of
Hmm.
my clients keep saying, I just want to get paid to be myself. I want to make money and make an income, and my purpose really is to just embody who I naturally am and shine that to the world and inspire others to do the same. And this illusion comes up of like, oh well, maybe I can't make money from just being me, or maybe I have to be somebody else, or maybe that's not enough. And it's really cool because we are in this time where we are really reclaiming who we actually are and our true expression. And there's so many creative ways to really get to show up exactly authentically as you are and turn that into a really powerful business, turn that into an inspiring message, turn that into something that you can really claim as your purpose because it's who you are. And that's really cool. I don't know that we actually had that same opportunity at the scale that we do today really ever before in the last many years.
Yeah. And you know what's really cool about just being yourself and being you and going with that flow and just shining that light that is you is that A, you're going to help other people do the same. And B, that's what people want to see anyway. Right? Nobody wants to see anything else other than who you truly are. And what you know is something that somebody else doesn't know. There's so much for you to teach somebody else and also learn. And so when we share like this, it benefits the whole. And that's another big thing that's been coming up right now is the whole is like we all need to get on board in this idea that we are all one and it is bigger and greater and there is nothing but energy here and we get to decide we get to create it so
Mm.
yeah that's a huge one that's been coming up right now and we really all need to get together and get on the same page with it in order to really be able to see and reap the benefits in this material world. It's like bringing those thoughts into form. Yeah. And we can do that more when we get together on a collective level because the power is so intense when we do that.
Yeah, absolutely. I made this Instagram live the other day. There's something that was really coming through is just how imperative it is to have a couple of people in your life that can truly see you, that can see through you, that can reflect to you your brilliance and your genius and really be there to empower and inspire you to be in that greatness and to share your brilliance and your message and your medicine with the world, and even collaborate on that with you, because the power of one person is grand and the power of two is even grander, and multiple, it's exponential. And when minds and souls come together for a common purpose, the energy is absolutely amplified.
Yeah, totally. And I love what you said there about sharing your brilliance with others because so many times we're like afraid of our own brilliance because we don't want others to feel less than. I see this so often. It's like, "Ooh, if I shine too bright, then I'm going to make that person feel bad." And it's like a really nice intention. At the same time, you're not helping anyone. You're not helping yourself and you're not helping that person because when you shine, you're showing them the mirror of who they are. And when we all
Mm.
recognize that, like when we're jealous, we do this because we're afraid of someone being jealous of us, right? Um, and so when jealousy really is just that kind of blockage to who we really are. It's like this recognition of what is within ourselves, but we're mad at ourselves because we are blocking it. And so instead, if we turn that perception around and think, oh my goodness, this is my mirror. This person is showing me just how brilliant I am, then we all get to shine that bright. There's no reason to hold ourselves back. That's another fear that holds us back, and there's no reason for it. Right. So, yeah,
Yeah.
shining your brilliance really does help everyone.
Yeah, that's it. There are these blockages. People have these blockages of it's not safe for me to shine.
Right.
It will dishonor my family's tradition of this,
Mhm.
or it's against my culture, because in my culture it's, we're meant to be super humble, or yeah, I'll be taken advantage of, or I'll be left, or I'll be abandoned if I shine, or there's all of these stories where who am I'm not worthy, I'm not deserving, nobody wants to listen to me, nobody cares about what I have to offer. And it's really important to identify these different blocks and these different limitations and limiting beliefs so that you can clear them out, so that you can give yourself that permission to shine. And it's fun to really do that self introspection work and see where you've been holding yourself back with either a wound or a trauma or a limiting belief.
Mhm.
Before we continue on with today's episode, I'd like to take a quick moment to tell you about our sponsor, NOOM. NOOM is a unique habit-changing solution that helps users learn to develop a new relationship with food. And it's not a diet. No food is considered good or bad. As we talk about on this show all the time, it's all about proper balance and having good habits. And Noom just teaches you how to look within your own mind and make better decisions for yourself. Sounds familiar, right? It's based in psychology, eating better to feel better. It focuses on the story that we tell around food and how to feel good about our choices. And they make it all super easy to do with a minimal commitment of only 10 minutes a day, which is essential for someone like me with so much on my plate. Pun intended. So, if you guys would like to try out the cognitive behavioral approach to losing weight that has led to 80% of Noomers finishing the program and 60% sticking to their goals for at least 1 year, head over to noom.com/positivehead to start your trial today. That's spelled NOOM.com/positivehead. I mean, what do you have to lose except outdated habits and perhaps a few extra pounds by signing up for the trial? Once again, that's NOOM.com/positivehead. Check it out.
Yeah, and so often think about your childhood memories, your earliest childhood memory. I know some of mine, like my very earliest childhood memory was somebody shaming me because I picked my nose and I ate it. And they were like, "Oh, that's disgusting." And I was like, "Ooh, you're right. That is disgusting." And I felt like I was disgusting because of that, right? And so that's like a shame thing where it's like, oh, make sure that I do things right so people don't think I'm disgusting. Right? And it's those little memories that cause these blockages in us. Like we don't even realize what's happening when we're little. That energy is so strong and it just sits within us, right? Or
Yeah.
like I remember my cousin that I looked up to. She looked at me one day and goes, "Wow, you're really going through an ugly stage, aren't you?" And I was like crushed. Like I thought I was ugly for forever because of that. Yeah, I know. Isn't that awful? So, but it's silly, that's from a 12-year-old perspective. As an adult, I'm like, oh, she was just messing with me. And yeah, I kind of probably was going through an ugly stage. But it's not that big of a deal. So it can be cleared once you understand it and look at it from a different perspective.
Yeah, absolutely. I had a similar experience where somebody once, I was just messing around singing. I was probably like 6 or 7, and it was my grandma who, anyone that knows me knows she's my idol and my best friend. And she jokingly but seriously also said, like, oh, don't ever sing. You have a horrible voice, right? My mom has a really
Mm.
awful voice, and like, just don't. And I was about to try out for this musical, and I remember that feeling that you must have had too when somebody picked on you or said that mean thing. Like my stomach turned into knots, my
Mm-hmm.
throat and chest closed up, and I felt so embarrassed
Mm-hmm.
and just like so shut down. And I never sang again from that
Mm.
day until maybe a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, where I started to move through these blockages and realize I've never sang in my whole life. And
Mm.
that was my biggest fear of singing in front of people. And now it's been so amazing to just play and sing and refind and redevelop this voice, because that is our natural, one of our most natural forms of art, is allowing sound and music to flow through us. But it can be taken away or blocked by a little trauma that we, often receive during our formative years.
Oh yeah, this is a huge, huge topic that my partner Brian. This is like what he does in his work is help people to unblock these throat chakra blockages that have happened, just like we're talking about over our lives, and we don't even realize how much it affects us. And what's the energy that is in our throat chakra? If you look at the overall concept of the throat chakra, but it's wisdom, it's perspective, you know, and it is interesting. It's our voice. Wow, there's so much to it. So that's why it's such a huge topic. But I just wanted to bring it up because there are some other shows that you guys can go back and listen to find more on this topic. Um, but yeah, wow. Samantha, I love you so. I don't know how we get to all these amazing concepts through one idea of creativity, but I think we really covered a lot today. Is there anything else that you want to share before we go?
I feel like, yeah, the last thing is, you and I are such a great example of just creativity, and how when you have somebody that can be a mirror, that can be a container, and that can be this reflection, this ping pong table with you, where ideas can just come out, and you allow yourself to go into the corners and the crevices. And it's so amazing that one idea can lead us down all of these different windy paths and little creative nooks. And yeah, it's such a blessing. It's such a blessing to be able to have the opportunity to share ideas like this. And so I'm super grateful. And yeah, it's just always a really fun time.
I love that, Samantha. That is another really, really good point and a great analogy. I love how you make the analogies like the ping pong, just bouncing things back and forth. And what's so great about that is like you allow it because you're just flowing, right? And that's all we need to do in life is just flow with it. We don't need to, hold ourselves back or block it. Again, I'm coming back to my sessions. I see so often this is what we do with our intuition and our higher self communication. We block it. We just refuse to go with it because we talk ourselves out of it or whatever it is that we're doing, telling ourselves we're making it up. But no, just going with this flow is like it. It really is it. That's all we need to do is just go with it and follow your heart.
Mm.
Yeah.
Such
Hmm.
good advice.
Hmm. Thank you, Samantha. And thank you for all your good advice today. I'm so grateful for you. Um, yeah, I think that's it today, Samantha.
I feel it. I
I
feel it.
feel
That
it
feels
too.
good.
Yeah,
Feels complete.
I think that's good. Short and sweet. We love you all so much. I'm going to leave you all with the song. This is Ayla Nario Fountain. Until next time, love you all.
We love you.
Also, before we cue up today's song, I wanted to remind you about the game with the universe on our website, where you can choose the first number that comes to your mind and it'll pull up that episode number of the podcast. I've been saying this is a great way to co-create synchronicity and magic with your higher self for quite some time. And if you go to positivehead.com/universe, there is a super fun and simple interface to play this game with your higher self. I firmly believe just by setting the intention to play in this way, it opens up the door for magic, and it's a synchronistic way to hone in on nuggets of wisdom out of the huge catalog of episodes that are specifically appropriate for you at this time in your journey to becoming the next greatest and greatest version of yourself. And it also makes for a super fun way to spark the curiosity of friends and family by having them choose a number, so they'll hopefully go and check out their number as well, which I greatly appreciate because it helps us to spread the word about the podcast. Once again, the address is positivehead.com/universe. And as a quick reminder, if you're curious to learn more about Purium superfoods and why I take them almost every day, be sure to also check out positivehead.com/transformation. On this journey of becoming the next greatest and grandest version of ourselves that we have all embarked upon, I cannot stress the importance of managing your physical vibration enough. And quite honestly, Purium has put together the simplest plan I've found to do so. I have my favorite, the appleberry shake, at least 5 times a week. Once again, to learn more about the Purium transformation, go to positivehead.com/transformation. Or if you want to keep it simple and just try out my favorite, the appleberry shake, you can go straight over to ishoppurium.com and be sure to use code positivehead for 25% off. I'll spell that for you. It's ishoppurium.com. And be sure to use your Positive Head 25% coupon code.
If I am a fountain, I am a spring. You bathe in my rivers, I'm giving you everything, everything, everything. I am a cup, you be the wine. I'll drink till I'm thirsty, drink till I'm blind by your brilliance. Every day, in every way, every day. Your shining is calling me out. Your shining is summoning light from my skin to be calling us out. All of our dawning. If I am a mountain, you are a valley. We'll see in each other the balance of everything, everything, everything. I am a feather, the wing of a swan, the bond never broken, love in a life beyond time. We'll see it this way, staying awake every day. Your shining is calling me out. Your shining